as far as what we have going on in the news, I'm sure many people are aware. Recently, there was the shooting of Charles Kinsey, or Kinsey, shot by police. And so, essentially, he was trying to defuse a difficult situation. He was a supervisor behavioral therapist at a group home where an autistic gentleman was had run away and was carrying a toy truck, and the report from the 911 call was that he was threatening suicide. What we see in the video, which we're going to show you shortly, it's not too graphic, but we do want you to be aware of what's going on there. This isn't one of the more graphic police shootings, but it still may be a trigger for some folks, so I do want to give you guys a warning that that's coming up. As we see in the video, he did seem to be being somewhat like loud or aggressive, but the man who you see on back who was shot, Charles Kinsey, had his hands up and had been explaining, as again you'll see in the video, what the situation was. And reports are that when he asked the officer why he shot him, that the officer's response was, "I don't know." And I think that's kind of the situation that a lot of people are facing, is like, that's not really an acceptable answer. But I'm going to go ahead and lead us into the video so you can see what happened if you hadn't seen the video yet. So just give me a moment to get that up for you guys. And here we go. Alright, oops, got to get it sized here. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, so here it is.
Like, please don't shoot me. But why they shot the black boy and not the fat boy?
You know, because they're being with the blacks, you know.
And what you see there at the end of the video is Charles Kinsey getting handcuffed after being shot inexplicably by the police. And according to a CBC radio, they did an interview with Charles Kinsey's lawyer. And in the interview, they describe what transpired and what happened after. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, make sure to get a chance to go look at it. It's in our video description. But some of the details from it are bothersome. Apparently, one detail, as you see in the video, that you see Mr. Kinsey is trying to defuse the situation, keep things calm, informs the police that the object in his hands that the 911 caller thought was a gun is actually a toy truck. And so just moving forward with what we see in the video, it took approximately 20 minutes for the paramedics to arrive. Meanwhile, Mr. Kinsey was laying on the hot cement, handcuffed, bleeding, with no assistance from the officers that either shot him or the other officers on scene. There were, I believe, at least 3 officers on scene at the time. And so I find that highly problematic, and I think we'll talk in more detail. I just want to get some of the actual information out before I go too far into opinion. Also, the police records show that it was 31 minutes from when the EMT call was placed to when Mr. Kinsey arrived at the hospital, so about 20 minutes until they reached the scene seems to be an appropriate estimate. And the lawyer said at one point, the really sad part about this is that not only did he do everything that he was supposed to do, he was trying to encourage the autistic adult to also comply with the police. And he told him while he was laying flat on his back, he was a behavioral therapist and that this gentleman has autism. But equally important, Mr. Kinsey informed the police that the instrument in the client's hand was a toy truck, as you can clearly hear on the video. That's the part that's really shocking. Even though they received a call about the gun, you clearly could see it was a toy truck that this guy was playing with, and you could clearly tell he was autistic. And going further into that, when the police unions have since come out and tried to offer an explanation as to what happened. According to Chuck Rabin's Twitter feed, with CBC, he says the police union boss admits the North Miami cop who shot mental health care worker was aiming at the autistic man next to him and missed. So the explanation that the police union has gone with so far is that the officer was actually aiming at the autistic adult who was sitting there with his toy that had already been identified by the man on his back complying with officers with his hands in the air, that it was not in fact a gun but a toy, and that's who they meant to shoot, but on accident they shot the man laying on the ground. Now I don't know how much better of an explanation that is, but that is what the union has come out and said that the officer has told them that he was attempting to do. So it went from I don't know why I shot you to I was actually shooting at the other guy to protect you. So this is part of a line of issues with police releasing versions of events that evolve over time in a way that seem inconsistent with being the truth, I suppose.